All right. Okay, ladies, we're live. Hello, everyone. As
Yay!
usual,
Hello,
give us a
everyone.
few minutes. Give us a few minutes to share our feed, and then we'll get this ball rolling.
That's right. I'm trying to click this one. And at the end, sorry guys, my background is a little bit loud. Mollie shows.
So I
Right?
have
Can you guys?
I sent the link to the group chat.
Okay. Can you guys bring your voice down, please? Right?
So whenever you're ready, ladies, when you're done.
WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay. You good? Hello, Miss Molly. You okay? Okay.
Yes.
So thank you all so much for coming to watching our show. I'm here with my co-hosts, as usual. You know all of them. You have Miss Molly in red. You have Miss Olivia in purple, and then you have me, Miss Henrietta. I want to thank you for watching our show, sharing. And like we always say, this show is above if you're 18 and above. So please make sure any viewer who is watching below 18 should not watch. And again, we want to thank you all. So let's roll. Yes, Miss Molly.
Yeah. Thank you, Henrietta, for the intro. That's beautiful. I remember 2 weeks ago we talked about accountability. Today we are talking about something else. It's a very interesting topic. We want to put it out there. If you have any comments, if you have any suggestion, feel free to drop it and tell us what you think. We are talking about 50-50 in relationships, right? Do we think 50-50 in relationship is necessary? If yes, why? If no, why? We want to know. And today we have a guest that we're going to bring later in the show. Her name is Onika. She's going to be joining us pretty soon. But first, we want to start and then we'll bring her in and we can take it from there. Miss Olivia.
Wow. Okay, I was not expecting that. All right. So thank you, Miss Henrietta. Thank you, Miss Molly, for getting the ball rolling. So we're talking about 50-50 in a relationship. So when anybody hears about 50-50 in a relationship, the first thing that comes to mind, I think, is finances. And it is hard, to do 50-50 in a relationship when finances is concerned. I usually love to quote examples. I'll quote myself. I think Sarita froze there for a little bit. Okay,
Mhm.
so when we moved to the US, I was not working. Right, I had the babies to take care of, so I was not working. I was a stay-home mom, a housewife, as we call it, and my husband was the one covering all the bills. At that point, I cannot give 50 in that relationship, or 50-50, as we say, financially in that relationship, because there's no way I'm getting that money. I don't have it. So financially, there is no way I can go 50-50. But maybe there are other things that I can do, right? While you're at work, working to pay, I'll cover those bills. Of course, I have the kids to take care of. Many people don't accept this, but being a stay-at-home mom or a housewife is a very difficult job too. At times you can go crazy. Those kids can drive you crazy at home. The fact that you're sitting at home and there's so much talent in you, there's there's a lot of things that you can do, but you can't do it because you're stuck in there. You need to take care of those kids. It's frustrating at times. So what I'll do, take care of those kids, and then my husband used to drive an hour to get to work. So by the time he gets back in the morning, he's exhausted. And
Mhm.
I will not be like, okay, this is 50-50. This is your turn. Take care of these kids. No, because I know he's tired. Maybe I've, caught a little bit of naps during the day because I'm not at work. I'm not, no supervisor is on my head like, you can't sleep. Maybe after the kids had lunch, take the bath or something, maybe I took a nap and stuff like that. But I know he didn't. So I'll let you go back to sleep because, of course, you're working in the night again. You all know how it is in the US. And
Mhm.
and when he's finally free, that's when he'll say, okay, my day off today, maybe let me take that laundry that you usually do. Let me help you do the dishes and stuff like that. But it is
Mhm.
hard. And I always, well, everybody has an opinion in this, but I'll disagree that it is hard to give 50-50 in a relationship. At one point, somebody is giving more. Yes, at one point, somebody is giving more than that 50. You would think that maybe just doing the dishes is nothing. If I had to cook and then go ahead and do that dishes, I've gone above my 50. Meanwhile, if you had helped me, with that, you try to, you bring in your own part of your own 50, even though maybe you cannot cook. You say, okay, I'm going to share the cooking with you. It does not have to be that you have to stand and start cooking maybe fried rice or something else. Just doing the dishes, cleaning up. That's a whole different level. You're trying to meet me halfway. So um there's a lot of controversy when it comes to this, but I always say it is very hard for any relationship to have 50-50. There is always somebody who is giving more than that at every given time. Mr. Reta, what do you think about it?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Thank you so much, Miss Olivia and Miss Molly. Like Miss Molly said, we have a guest, and I can't wait to hear what she has to say about this 50-50 thing. But like you said, it's relationships. It is so hard to bring this thing on 50-50 or not. But like you said, it depends on what aspect, it depends on what category. You just mentioned yours was different because you were not working. And that is factual. That is obvious. That is correct. But now I want to bring the point of if you and your spouse are working, how does that 50-50 goes by? How do you all think we're going to hold it? How do you all think? I'm so sorry. I'm laughing because you know I love the Molly Show while we do this. Sometimes we text.
Oh,
So we're like, you're like, what are you rocking that chair, girl?
I'm so sorry. I
I'm
feel
not
so
like
uncomfortable.
I actually have to
Yeah,
send
is
a
that
message
chair
in the
not
group
working?
chat.
I know, is it
Like,
not working with
Molly,
you?
are
50
you
50 is
okay?
not
Molly,
giving
are
the
you
vibe no
okay?
one.
My goodness.
Like the way you guys are seated, you guys sit so well, and then I find myself like I'm like this. I'm trying to adjust myself. Sorry for that distraction, guys. My bad.
That's what we need. Let me tell you, it's a live show, so anything can happen. I'm sorry, I take you people, but I remember when Molly was doing a TikTok and then a fly came by, and then she's like, "Ooh, it's a fly." So it's when everything is live, there's nothing you can do. So let me
Yeah.
go back to the topic. Like we said, 50-50. I want to bring the aspect of 50-50, how it can work in a relationship. Like we said, it's not marriage, it can be anything. It can be
Mm-hmm.
anything. So it can work in an aspect of both parties earning almost the same amount of money. If both
Mm-hmm.
parties are working, I think 50-50 for me can go in there because everybody have what they can play. Like they pay their bills. You have
Mm-hmm.
so many bills in America, and you people can split the bills into. I'm talking on the bill pad. That is it. Because
Mm-hmm.
let me be honest with you, I'm a woman, but we do a lot. But when it comes to bills, if I'm working and you're working, we have the same amount of money. I think it's categorically fair for all of us to share that those bills. Because one thing I know is if you're in a relationship, even if you're not married, you guys are together. You people share you share saliva, you share body, you share fluid together. So it's did I put it right? Because this is 18 and above, please. So we share all that together. And why can we not share the bills together? But I know we can share the bill. But one thing I would have to tell myself is a man is a man. And a man always takes care of the home when it comes to shelter. Because I know men are always having this their ego of like, I'm the man of the house. So he has to pay that house. And it doesn't matter how much that house is, he has to pay it. I have a friend of mine. She mentioned this like, if my husband, I hope she's watching this so she can understand it's her. That if the husband doesn't pay the bills, the house rent, she's staying outside. She's just taking her kids, they stay on the curb because she's not paying that. It's his responsibility to pay that house. If he doesn't pay, then she's out. She goes to the father. So I think that is obvious. And the woman now can pay the other bills. We have light bills. We have, but let me tell you, ladies, don't take food bills. Food bill is so expensive. I think sometimes most women spend more money in a month than on a house rent to buy food in the house. It is so expensive because it changes all the time. So 50-50 can fall in like bills for like the house, the light bill, the we have insurance and everything, guys. I tell you, those in my country, we have insurance for everything. You even insure your life because you're living is like you're not living, it's like you're living for somebody. You have a lot to insure, have a lot bills to pay. So I come here with 50-50 in the sense that the man can pay and the bills and the woman also can pay if all of both of them are working. So I don't know what you think, Miss Molly, about that.
Oh, okay. I'll go. Only can I go? I don't know if only have some. Okay.
Oh, if some people are online. Oh, offline and online.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll go.
please go ahead.
Okay, so what you've said, Miss Henrietta, that's great. What Oli said, that's great. 50-50 in a relationship. It's just that most of the time when we talk about 50-50 in a relationship, a lot of people go straight to the financial aspect of it. But it
Yeah.
takes more than finances to keep a relationship. Why is it that whenever we talk about 50-50 in a relationship, people just think straight to the financial aspect, right? Um, Personally, I don't believe, I've said it before in TikTok, I don't believe in 50-50 in a relationship. The reason I don't believe in 50-50 in a relationship is because at every given point, someone is giving more in that relationship. Someone it's just going to be difficult to balance it. Someone is giving more. Even if we want to go, let's put everything aside and let's focus on just the finances, right? Or you are bringing 50-50, and you bring 50, I bring 50, and we run the home together. But at every given point, even with that finances, somebody must give more. You us ladies, you go to the store, you are going there to shop for yourself, you find yourself buying things for the kids, but you are still working on the 50-50 relationship. You see those boxers, they're going to be good for my man, you grab it. So I just feel like even if we put finances, right? Maybe there are some men like my husband, he goes to TJ Maxx and then he's coming with a big bag of stuff for me and the kids. So I feel like no matter what, even if we want to talk about only the finances of 50-50, no matter what, somebody is giving more. Let me say your finances for the month, for where you guys bring together, let's say $6,000. There will be some month that you guys will go over it. And somebody have to dip in and give more. Well, and then the other reason I don't believe in 50-50 in a relationship is like because I don't see only the financial aspect of it. I see everything in general, right? What about the cooking, right? If somebody is working, if someone, let me say you're in a household, one person is either you're a house husband or a housewife. No, don't do that. People, they are house husbands in the US. We have to be real. They are house husbands. You depending on how your situation in your family, whichever works for you, you go with that flow. So the person that is staying home and cleaning and taking care of the kids and taking care of the house chore, Some people will think that they are not contributing in that relationship because they don't bring the physical cash. Whenever they talk of contributing in relationship, most of the time people attach it to the dollar. That's where the mix up is. They attach it to the dollar value. That since you're not bringing the physical cash in the house, what are you even contributing? Some people go to the extent to disrespect their partners because they feel like they are not doing anything because they don't bring the physical cash. So my point again is, I believe personally, that's just me, that there's nothing like 50-50 in a relationship. At every given point, somebody is giving more financially, somebody is giving more physically, emotionally, mentally. Someone is there more because relationship is a seasonal thing, right? This season you lean on this person, and the next season this person lean on you. That's how we go through it one day at a time. I don't know if Miss Olivia has something to say.
Okay. So I don't know, Miss Molly, is it time to bring in our guest since
Oh
we all
yes,
talked
yeah, we
already?
can bring her. We can bring her.
Yeah. Okay. So, but shout out to our viewers that we have. We have Miss Eugenie Kemkash says she's watching from San Antonio. Thank you so much
Thank you,
for
Sister
joining.
Eugenie.
We have I see Atwine Stewart. Stewart, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We usually see you on our TikTok page. We're glad to have you on Facebook today. And for anyone who just joined, of course, you're on the Mollie Show, and today we're talking about 50-50 in relationship. And please remember, viewers' discretion is advised, 18 and older. All right. I'm going to bring in our guest. Miss Molly, please can you do the introduction for us?
Yeah, we have a guest today. Her name is Onika. Onika, welcome, ma. Let me say it like her. Welcome, ma. Welcome, auntie.
Okay, let me unmute your mic because I think you're trying to. Let me see.
Thank you
Can
very
you
much. I'm glad to
go?
be here, and I'm so happy. As much as I want to give my 2 cents, I'm also learning. Okay, I'm really happy to be here. This topic is a very interesting one. But while Madam Henrietta and Mrs. Molly and Mrs. Olivia were talking, I figured out some things that in all, it all depends on who has more time and who is making the more money. Okay.
Mhm.
This 50-50 thing will not really work. It all depends on who is making the more money and who has more time. Because if I am making less money than my partner, there's no how I can contribute 50-50. It won't work, right?
Mhm.
And if I have more time, if I'm the one that is always at home, I don't expect him to share the house chores 50-50 with me. It won't work. It's not realistic. So that's my take on that. That is it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that point. Okay, so of course we'll go another round. But let me say this. I like the fact that you said who has enough time in their hands, right? Which is
Yes.
very true. I'll give another good example. uh, Most of us we have kids, right? Including our viewers
Mhm.
who are watching have kids, and you all know how it works here in the US. We're just talking about experience. If back home, maybe the kids walk to school in the morning with their friends and they walk back home. Yeah, we have that distance, we have that security that we're trying to protect our kids, especially the younger ones, the ones who are in high school can walk to school. And then let's say we have put that 50-50 at home and say, hey, you'll be the one to drop the kids and I'll be the one to pick them up, right? Okay,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
everybody's cool with that. And then one day, my time has I need to pick up these kids, but I'm trying to get the workload is too much. So what am I going to do? Am I going is my husband going to say, it's 50-50. Leave that work, oh, go and pick up those kids? And he is free. You have enough time on your hands. I'm talking about what Onika was saying. You are the one who has that time in your hands, and I am tied up. So are we going to do 50-50 there? No.
No.
You will jump in, add your 10%. Go and pick up those kids. Of course, I know you drop them off. I had to pick them. But because I'm busy, I'm tired of work. Maybe I started cooking. There's no way I'm going to turn off that stove while I'm
Mhm.
still boiling rice or something. Pick up those kids. And you are free. And you're all going to come back and eat that food that I'm cooking. So pick up the kids. Again, that's what I say. Somebody who has to give more at any given time, especially if you have more time in your hands. In other relationships, there are some people who are the ones, the shoppers and stuff like that. Miss Molly made mention that a husband comes in with a big bag for stuff for all of them. Most of the time in a relationship, there's just one partner. There's one of the partners that is like that. The other person is not the person that will go and shop. So every day you go out, like Miss Molly said, you are going to buy stuff for yourself, but you end up buying for your husband and your kids. And then maybe your husband is that person that will not buy. But what will he do? He will just send you money. Maybe he does not know how to shop. What are you going to do? I say, no, let's do 50-50. You have to also go to the store and buy. No, you already know. Make peace with that. You already know that your partner is not the shopping type, but he's going to give you that money to buy whatever you want. So you don't have to hold it against him and say, we're going to do 50-50. If I buy a pair of socks today, you must buy me a bra tomorrow. So again, 50-50 for me, I always say it is hard to find it in a relationship because there's one person that is always going to be more. Miss Areta, you have something to say about it? I did not even, nobody called my attention to this. I did not even
I
put in the
I was trying to text and I saw that I came offline. I was like, no, just leave it. It's still flowing. I didn't even bother about it. Miss okay, Ma. That's like that's like Miss Molly said. They say Ma and all that. Welcome, girl. Welcome to the show. And I know we just introduced. She just introduced your name. If you don't mind telling much about you, if you don't mind, like I know you sound like you're from Nigeria, so I really want the viewers to know that any person from anywhere can join us, any sister or brother. So if you don't mind, like really tell us about you, then you're gonna kick it off, please, if you don't mind.
Okay, my name is Onyekachi and I'm from Nigeria, Imo State precisely.
Oh,
And currently in the US for my master's degree. Yes.
oh, good
oh,
job.
okay.
Congratulations, girl.
Yeah, San Antonio,
Congratulations.
San Antonio, Texas.
Oh wow, Mama, you're welcome. So you're
Thank
gonna be with us. That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
We look
I'm
forward to
sorry to
seeing
say this,
you.
but I love this word. Are you open or closed? That means are you married? You single? You're searching?
I'm open. I'm,
Oh,
I'm
Hey,
single. Yeah.
okay. Let's write that down. Let's write that down.
viewers, she's open. She's doing her master's. She got the brain. She got the face. She got
Beauty and
everything. So,
brains.
yeah.
Beauty and brains.
So you can contact Miss Molly for that. Just DM
Die,
her. Yeah, if you have
die,
any interest.
die.
Thank you so much. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
I'm really
So,
happy to be here. Thank you.
thank you, Mama. And also, when you do me a favor, girl, I'm gonna pass by and grab that wig. I love it.
Mhm.
It's yeah. I'm gonna
Thank you,
pass
ma'am.
by.
Thank you.
So, like we're talking about 50-50 in a relationship, I mentioned that about 50-50 when it comes to it works when it comes to finances, but I think that Miss Olivia, Miss Molly, and yourself mentioned something. I wrote it down. Time. Time. Nobody can buy time. And if you have a lot of time in your hand, what do? You use it.
Mhm.
You use it in a way that is going to help a relationship, in a way that is going to help each person. Like you said, if I have time and my husband doesn't, he can do chores, he can do stuff that I can't do. Yeah, we in America, like I said, we take care of kids. We schedule it. When I come back from work in the morning, he drops the kids and I pick them before I go to work. Yes, if I can pick them, if I have to go to work real quick, what happens? He has
Yep.
to pick them. But that's very important. But when it comes 50-50, for me, it's something that it tells that I didn't want to go pick them because I didn't want to. It's because I had something to do. I don't know if I don't know if the viewers understand me. Yes, I had some. It was my place to go pick the child, but I could not because I had something to do, and he went. So my own take in a 50-50 relationship is this: all of you are balancing it. That's my 50-50. So I don't want to quantize it. I don't want to put it in a math form like, okay, 50-50 means you have to do more or no. The same. That's not what I meant. What I'm meaning is you both have decided that we have to work together. So my own take in 50-50 in life is the working together. It has nothing to do with the finances, with everything. But you guys, because I know we'll say, okay, I'm cooking. He might be sitting on the couch watching TV, but because he doesn't have nothing to do at that time. But imagine if he has something to do, what he's gonna go do it. You see, so that's what my take is. How do you guys do it together so that it works? So that's my own 50-50 taking. So I know that we have a lot when it comes to somebody. One of our viewers was talking about 100. That's what she meant. She meant about 50. But I was trying to tell her, and I'm still saying it now, that we're not quantitizing, we're not putting a figure. It can still be 20-20, it can be 2-2, it can be 1-1. We're just trying to make it like it's a balance of something. We have to balance it, viewers. So let nobody not think that you're 100 doesn't mean a thing. It means even somebody can even quantize a relationship to be 1-1. That is it. So I believe that in the relationship, we also have childbearing, because we can't quantize childbearing that I take for 9 months and a man just gives me it for a second in bed and I have to do it for 9 months and I put it as 50-50. No, that's not. It has a lot to do when a woman is pregnant. You know, men cannot be pregnant. I wish he can turn around, but I hope that in the next 100 years, God can change this thing so that they really understand what it means by carrying a child. Because some of them feel like, oh no, it's normal because it's not sickness. That's what we say in Africa. No be sick, no be sick. Mama, you the hear pidgin now. They come tell us, no be sick, no be sick, go take carry for belle na pikin. Na fine thing, na joy. But they don't know what we go through inside that joy. I'm happy too, carrying for 9 months, you know, but you have to do a lot of things. You have to, that's where the balance now doesn't come, because if I'm pregnant carrying a child and then you just sit around lousy, you're not even helping in anything. That is way different now, because childbearing and being a motherhood is so hard. So I don't know what you think, Miss Molly, for that, please. What do you have to put in?
Yeah, what you said really, really, really is amazing. Like balancing, it's all about balance, right? And the reason we are having this conversation is because most of the time we don't find that balance in our relationships. A lot of us out there, especially I'll go back to our African culture, that there are some things that they say it's for the women to do, right? Even for those who are at home, and I don't want to say it's us abroad, even those who are at home, at times it's challenging for them. They are also human beings, right? They don't, the balance, most of the time you don't feel the balance. And you see this woman, I've seen a woman who is pregnant. She goes to the market, she's selling pepper and crayfish, and she comes back home and then she has to cook, and the husband will just sit there in the living room and he's watching the TV, because that is a woman's role. So that balance, like what you're saying, really makes sense. It has the 50-50 have to be the balance. In a situation like that, you expect that woman coming back from the market. Maybe while the man is making the woman is making the okra, the man should help and make the gari to help that to help lift that burden from you for a little bit, just for a little bit. It goes to us women, right? At times, oh, maybe you have a house husband and he's staying home, you have 4 kids or all whatnot, and he's been struggling, he's had a long day, maybe he had a call from his family and they said, oh, things are not working. He's so stressed out, and then you come back, you start filing your nails and watching Housewife of Atlanta, whatever housewife, whatever reality show you want to watch, and you expect that because maybe you are a medical doctor or whatever profession you are into, you are making more money, you start disrespecting that man. Instead to be 50-50, you're like, oh, I wear the pants in this house, I bring the income in this house. He should make me some rice. Oh, I don't want that stew of yesterday. Can't you cook something new? Okay, things like that. When we don't have the balance, that's why we are crying that 50-50 in the relationship doesn't have, like what Miss Renata said, really, I've never thought about it in that area. That really is an eye opener for me. That is the balance. And it's the balance. And most of the time, if it means that you give more to balance it, that's what you have to do for the relationship. You're doing it for the relationship. I don't know if Miss Olivia have something, or
I'm,
Onika
I'm,
has something to
I'm
say.
sorry, before Miss Olivia say something. I saw the balance there because, you know, she's in the show and the man is feeding her, giving her food. So that's a balance. Like she's taking She's doing using her time, and I saw her grabbing food from the man. So you see the man is balancing, making sure she's not hungry. So that's the right balance. Over to you, Miss Olivia. That was a good
I
one.
was on mute. Thank you, Miss Molly. Thank you, Miss Molly. Thank you to our viewers who are out there. I don't see any new comments, but I see we have a few viewers. So thank you so much for joining again. We are talking about 50-50 in a relationship. Let's see what you have. Send us a comment and we'll talk about it right here on the Mollie Show. So there's this thing in a home. There's ever that one person. I call it the last example I said was there's the shopper, somebody who will always buy, and then the other person who is waiting to receive.
Mhm.
There, we already know that in some homes the men can't cook and the woman will cook, and the woman cannot mow the lawn, let's say, for example, and then the man can do that. And the woman is not good at folding those clothes after doing the laundry, and the man can do that. So that's what trying to balance it up, right? I'm going back to what Sereta and Miss Molly has been saying. We're
Mhm.
balancing this thing up. So when we get up in a normal traditional way in back home on Saturday is our cleaning day because we know
Hmm.
we're off work, the kids are there and stuff like that. Mom is in the kitchen trying to, cook that food, trying to clean the kitchen. The husband is out there mowing that lawn and stuff like that. The laundry is running as you are trying to balance it. But the
Mhm.
problem with some people, how they try to interpret 50-50, that's where it goes. That's where there's always a misunderstanding because according to others, 50-50 has to be that if I'm cooking, you have to cook with me. Oh, if you are out there mowing that lawn, I have to get a rake and be, trying to pick up that grass. If you are following that lawn, you have to follow with you. It doesn't always have to work like that. People
Mhm.
try to compare their relationship with others. You sit around with your friends, and then maybe she says, "Oh, where just as Molly's talking about her husband coming in with a bag of clothes for her and the kids," and then I'm like, if I go out today, they will go buy me clothes too. No, there are other things that your husband does at
Mhm.
home that balance up that 50-50. That it might not be the same from what you have heard from Miss Molly. So that's the
Mhm.
problem we all have. Somebody will say, man, that food that I ate yesterday was my husband who prepared it. You know your husband cannot cook. What do you expect from him? You expect to go back at home that night and maybe somebody who cannot cook and you want him to cook that food because you heard that from somebody else. Meanwhile, there are things that your husband is doing. That friend of yours that was just telling you about the cooking, the clothes, that her husband will not do any of those things.
Mhm.
Your own husband is trying to balance up to meet with you, but you are looking, you are trying to compare what is going on out there. That for me, that's not even 50-50 at the end of the day. You are not trying to help your partner. Let me say partner, instead of saying husband. You're not trying
Yeah.
to help your partner to balance up your home. 50-50, it does not only have to be that if you have $10, I need to bring in $10 also. If you have 20 that month, madam, give the 20 because
Mhm.
your husband has done maybe he has had many more challenges. We have family back home, we have friends, we have people having their stuff. Go fund me. In unfortunate situations are happening. Maybe he has extended, you needed $100 for groceries that week. When I hear fine, but the groceries is very high. I don't understand what's going on that
Mhm.
week, and he had to take $10 out of it to do something else, and he's giving you 90, and you are like, I cannot take it. This is not 50-50. Last week I'm the one who gave the $100. You are giving 90 today. It's not correct. I don't think you're a loving partner. You have to
Mhm.
balance it up. You have to see with your partner. It does not always have to be like, as they say, a knife on the bread. Like, it has to be exactly in the middle.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I guess there's a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to 50-50 relationship. But if you balance it up, trust me, even though we know there are a lot of people in that relationship give more at all every given time. I think I quoted this example on the Mollie Show on TikTok, like mothers before you go to bed, you're already calculating, did I soak that arrow because I need to cook it tomorrow? Or did I
Mhm.
take out that beef from the freezer and stuff like that? You're already giving more than what you have given the whole of that day. Yeah. Monica, you have something to say?
Mm, um I think this 50-50 discussion we're having now is one of the first date questions, if you ask me, you're supposed to have if you want to avoid problems in your relationship. Because you find out that if we avoid this kind of conversations from the beginning, then problems are inevitable. You're bound to have tons of quarrels and discrepancies with your partner, because this 50-50 discussion is a very paramount thing. Imagine getting married to a traditional person that has it in his mind, and a typical African man that this is your job. Come rain, come sunshine, you have to cook. You're pregnant and you're dying, it's not my business. You have to do the cooking. You understand? So you find out that you'll be in trouble. It's never going to be resolved.
Mhm.
After the situation, you're pregnant, you're not feeling fine. You have I heard a story of a lady that a married woman that just lost her father one evening. She got a call and was told that her father died. And you know what? Her husband insisted she still goes to make dinner that night.
That thing was all over Instagram. I
Yeah,
watched
like
that
that,
video.
that was so bad.
Yeah.
Even if you people are having 50-50, you have to be flexible. Just like
Yes.
Madam said, yes, it's I'm not having time to pick up the kid because something came up and I'm very busy. But you are free, then go do it. You don't even need someone to tell you that.
Tell
Okay?
you that.
You understand? So this is the kind of discussions you should really have with someone when you're getting to know them, so that you don't have problems in your relationships or your marriages. That's what I have to say.
That's a good one. Thank
Mm.
you. Thank you so much, Oni. Miss Narita. Yeah.
Hmm. This Onya, you remember when you talked, I came forward because I was trying to listen, and you mentioned something about this traditional people, the chiefs and all that. I was like, wow, she said something, and you're definitely right. You're definitely right. In when it comes to Google culture, I wrote that down. I think Miss Molly mentioned culture. Culture is something that it's not only in Africa, it's all over the world. Indians are like part of us. It's unfortunate that even the Arabs and all that, their women are so different from the men. So I think 50-50 when it comes to culture. I wish we can change it, but it's hard. But I think through the Molly Show, like we were talking, many other cultural people as listening, they can see a balance in a relationship, like you said, is so important because it doesn't weigh one person down. And mentioning that lady that the father died and she was cooking, I'm sorry to say this, but me, the lady, I won't even cook.
I'm not
I'm
cook.
sorry.
I will not.
I'll be honest
It
with
was
you, Mama.
it was that thing brought the internet down that day because she was crying and cooking.
I cannot.
Yep.
And why did
I
she even
cannot.
take a video of that? I won't even
Oh,
like. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I felt it. I'm sorry. I won't cook. So I'm sorry. That's me. I won't cook. And we're going back to the 50-50 thing. I had a graduation yesterday, and this lady, she's a Nigerian. And then there was a Cameroonian and Nigerian, and the man came over, and he stood there, and he said something so important. He said when the wife came to the U.S. 12 years ago, she wasn't driving, and he said when he tells her don't drive till I come back, when he comes, she has taken the car. And he said, but I don't understand you. I said, don't drive. You have just learner permit. He said, next time, what happened? He stayed home and then he went to a friend. So the wife had to go to she had to go to school. So he said, oh, I'm gonna give you an Uber. Don't worry. Immediately he came back, that woman has gone with the car. So when they asked her, he said when he asked the wife was like, my husband, you're working. I'm staying home. How can I wait for you to come back? Drive me to school. Meanwhile, I have a learner permit. I'm above 18, above 20. She's 40 something. I can drive myself, Papa. So I'll be careful on this. So that is a 50-50 thing. That's where we get the balance. So when she talked to the husband understood, like, well, wife, thank you. But I was scared of your safety because you just came. You see? So where that's why I want to put the balance, like, we women really love our husbands, we love our spouse, we love our relationship, whoever we're in a relationship in. Because women, when we want to get into a relationship, we do it with our heart.
Mm-hmm.
So her saying that and doing that to the husband means she love. Because a man will not do that. I'm sorry, men. Some men will not do that. They'll wait for you to come back, drive them, patron, drive patron. They'll wait for you to come back and do anything for them because they just came to that country. I don't know me how the country works. I don't know how this system works. So they'll be waiting on you. Men will do that. But I was so proud of her when the man mentioned that and we are talking about this topic. I wish every lady will understand that she did it because she wants to balance it. She wants nobody to have the burden more than another person. So that was a good one. And for the Cameroonian lady, I love my Cameroonian men. Let me be very honest with everybody. Cameroonian men are good when you treat them right. When you treat them right,
Mhm.
that 50-50 balance comes to play. This lady, the man that retired, the lady was, women love to go to school. She was going to school. Now she has her doctorate. And
Mhm.
she was crying and being so happy with the husband. The husband is above 60, but she said the husband did everything for her when she was going to school. The husband, she even used this word we're using. She said the husband balanced the family because if it wasn't for the husband, she doesn't think that they'll still be married till today because she was stubborn. She wants to do this. She wants to do this. Knowingly that the husband is above 60. Who's going to take care of the kids? Who's going to cook? The husband sometimes will cook for her because she's studying. The husband will do this. And then she cried because she believes in marriage being a 50-50 thing in a balanced situation. So I was so proud. And even though I heard in the graduation that one person mentioned that is woman power, I'm gonna come to that. I'm so proud of the ladies, of the women in our community, especially the Africans, because we do a lot. Most of us go to school, we take care of kids and all that. And I'm so proud of our men because if they don't allow you, if they don't support you, you won't even make it. So I think that's a really big balance now because when it comes to that sharing your love and affection, it's so important for me. So that's a big balance. Thank you, Miss Molly. I don't know what you have to chip. Oh, Miss Olivia has any comments from the viewers?
No, I
Yeah.
don't have any right now. Miss Molly, you can go ahead.
Okay,
I,
thank you.
Yeah, Miss
Oh, Miss
Henrietta,
Ode has
thank you.
something to say.
yeah.
I think our
Oh yeah,
guest has something.
I have
okay.
something to add to it. I think that having 50-50 relationship, I mean, it has something to do with having a kind partner.
Okay.
Yeah, because imagine that we've already agreed that yes, you do the chores and I do the other part, and it gets to a point where I'm not disposed at the moment to, just like we've been using the instance of picking the kids. Imagine that, okay, this is my job. I've taken the role of picking the kids, and at the moment I'm not free to pick the kids. And automatically your partner have seen that you're busy. He doesn't need someone to remind him to do that. But imagine you don't have a kind partner. You guys have to quarrel over that over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Yeah.
you understand? So this 50-50 thing and helping your partner and making having a balance in your relationship goes a long way. Like, it has
Mhm.
something to do with having a kind partner. You don't have to remind them. They've seen that, yeah, you're weak, or you're tired, or you're not happy, or you're sick at the moment. They don't even need you to say, can you do this? They'll be like, okay, let me do it. No, you're not fine, relax. You get the point now, right? So I think it has something to do with having a kind partner. Yeah.
You're right, girl. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
that's true. That's so true. That's so true. What you said is so true. And like you said from the beginning, it's good to start to have that conversation
Yes,
with
from the
your
onset.
partner, to be open about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell them that, oh, this relationship we are going into, this is how it's going to work, right?
Yeah.
And most of the time, we have to be realistic, right? When
Mm-hmm.
somebody is in love, you tell them anything, they say yes. And when they are into it, the story will change.
Sister.
And the story will change. And then you also said about like with a kind partner. That is so correct, right? That is so correct. But when you are in a relationship, you see that it takes more than kindness. It takes something we call communication and conversation. Some people, no matter how kind they are, you have to tell them what to expect them to do. Then they will do it. I feel like we should start having that conversation. Like, tell your partner what 50-50 means to you, because it means differently to everybody. Your partner might think that 50-50 to him is watching movie with you. Oh, I've done my part, I'm hanging out with you, I'm being romantic. Whereas you expect more. Or maybe your partner thinks 50-50 to you is just to pay the bills. So I
Mhm.
feel like we should have that conversation with our partners, what we expect from this relationship. And again, as season change, our 50, what I wanted 50-50 is going to change. You know, last time I wanted you to help me with the dishes or whatever. That's what I expected. And this
Mhm.
season, I don't want you to do the dishes anymore. We are going to disposable. Let's get disposable plates, right? And help me in some other section. And then most of the time, especially men, I know they'll be like, oh, you guys will talk about men. With a man, you have to tell him what you want him to do. We are in relationship, us women, we are like project manager. Tell them what you expect them to do, give them tasks, and they will do it. Because most of the time there's somebody there, he sees you, you're buried in whatever you're doing, you're working, you're so busy, and he expects you. Oh, I told you go pick the kids, but you didn't, they'll tell you that, oh, you didn't tell me. So I advise women that have relationship with you just have to communicate with men. They are not like us. Most of the time, they are not like us. Us, we fit in where they need us. We just fit in automatically. We just fit in like that. Us women, you see him, he's busy. You just fit in. You just wear the hat of it, of whatever responsibility you're supposed to. But with men, it's a little bit different. They communicate differently, right? You see, like laundry, there, a man will not know that. Oh, laundry has been sitting there. Let me go fold it. Most men will not do that. So now you have to communicate with him. When you come, it's a journey. It's a journey. That 50-50 thing, to have that balance, it doesn't just happen like that. Even if you have the conversation from the beginning, it's not like us that are married. We have trained our spouses to do things the way we want them to do, but it's still a working process.
Mhm.
There are some days that you expect him to do it. He's washing his soccer. You're
Yeah.
on your own. He can even forget the kid in the car. So it's a process. Let's communicate. Let's keep talking. Talk in the right way. When to talk. What you expect them to do. How do you expect them to fit in the 50-50? That's just my own 2 cents.
Thank you, Miss Molly. Um, there's something that I grabbed from there, and I think we had that conversation on TikTok. You're talking about what you expect. Tell your partner what you want. You can think that you are giving in your own 50, and that's not, the partner can think that he's giving his own 50-50 in that relationship, but that's not what you even want. That's not what you want. Uh, that's not what you're expecting from him. Like, we had a conversation on TikTok, and this lady was telling us that she has made peace with the fact that her husband can never remember the anniversary. So at first she'd be like, well, why didn't you do this and stuff like that? Then she finally made peace with it and would tell him that, hey, tomorrow is anniversary. I'm just telling you so that you don't forget. I was gonna be like, oh, so what do you want? She said flowers. I was gonna say, oh, take the card, go and buy the flowers. And she will order her flowers and I'll bring them to her. And she's happy with her flowers. She said there are other days she'll say, anniversary is coming up. Oh, say, okay, what do you want? Then let's go and have dinner in this restaurant I've always been there. They'll be like, okay, get a card and do it, and she'll go and have fun in that restaurant. But now on the other side, we can just look at the pictures now. In picture, we'll say you look poster, talk film. We'll go
Mhm.
now on Facebook or Instagram and we look at those pictures. Oh, Olivia maybe sitting with Carrie and stuff like that. You say, you go and start bugging your husband. You don't know how I got to that restaurant. You
Mhm.
don't know how she got those flowers. She explained that lady took her time and explained to us how she has been having her own. That's her own. That's how romantic her husband can be.
Yeah.
So if you don't accept that this you cannot balance it the way you want, that you don't. There are ladies who will sit at home and they will knock the door and a bunch of flowers will come. There are others who will never have it. Make peace
Mm-hmm.
with that. Your partner is not like that. You will not change him. You have tried. You don't quarrel, pack come for house and stuff like that. He will not change because he does not know that stuff. He will not do it. He will not come and give you flowers. He will not. Don't even bother about it. He'll give you all the money you want, but he does not think that thing is not for him. If you don't make
Mm-hmm.
peace with that, Onyeka said something at the beginning. These are some of the things that people can discuss before getting into that home together, right? Because don't tell me it is now that you are married that you know that your husband forgets about your anniversary date. If you're dating this guy, you already knew that thing that he does not care for stuff like that. He will not change
Mm-hmm.
today. He will not change today. So balance it up. You have already you know that okay, you make that home meal and he's going to pass and buy that drink and you go have a drink together. If that's what makes it work, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop comparing your home with others. That's where you start saying, okay, because Miss Molly's husband brought something, I also want it. For we have to balance this thing up. Balance it in a way what you expect. I'm going back to what Miss Molly said. Tell him what you expect. Laundry, if you don't want to fold the laundry, tell me that okay, you are busy, you cannot fold that laundry. I will do that laundry. Don't leave it
Mm-hmm.
there standing and I'm expecting that you will do the laundry today. I'm skipping over that basket every day. If you don't tell me that you cannot do it, or you don't tell me that, hey, I'm running late, can you please fold? I already started, can you please continue? It means we're not balancing up that relationship. So
Yeah.
I was just trying to hit on that point where Miss Molly said that try to communicate and let your partner know what you expect. And then she said something very funny that the season changes. Today I want you to wash plates. Tomorrow, please do groceries. But if
Mm-hmm.
you don't communicate with him, he knows that you just want him to help and wash the dishes and you'll be fine. But meanwhile, in your mind, I really want you to go and pick up those stuff from HEB. So communicate. Communication, I think, is a very big one. So let me say, Miss Anita, you have any points for Miss Anita?
Mhm.
Miss Annie, you're shaking your head. Do you have anything? I saw you doing like this. So I was like, maybe you have something. You know, you're a guest, and I don't know if you have anything to say.
I would still say, um, if you have such conversations with the man, it still boils down to me saying, get a kind partner for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Give it. Because imagine every time you have to struggle to have this conversation. Or okay, this time I'm pregnant. You really need to help me with this, and he's like, no, 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 not again. You understand? You keep on having this trouble. Anytime you want to make adjustments, this is not his. This was not how he was brought up. This is
Mm-hmm.
it's not. There are men that are not kind. Each time you
Yeah.
want to bring up these discussions, it's a problem. And sometimes when you remember that this will be a problem, telling him, okay, let's adjust, and you just say, let me just do it. I don't want problems. Do you understand? Yeah, so in all, we know that men are built differently from us, and for you to really get them to do something, you really have to be vocal about it. But
Yeah.
then that kindness and conscience, having conscience, it needs to be there. You need to
Needs to
get,
be there.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's very important.
Go for
Yeah.
it.
And
Thank
then
you.
I
You
have
know.
one thing to tell you. Sorry, Oli.
No, no.
Um, you are young. This
Mm,
communication thing, you are young. You will get it when you get there. You will get it. It's a non-stop conversation until we are still doing it today.
Until
Because in
yes,
this
so
aspect is better and the other aspect is lacking, you have to do that conversation. He can brush it under the rug and put it there, but we'll continue tomorrow. It's a continuous process. I just wanted to put that out. It's a continuous process. But the
continue process.
kindness and the good heart is good to have it because then you don't have to repeat some little things all the time.
yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Annie. I just wanted you to say something, and like what you said, looking into what you've been saying is like, shows for me it's something that is plain and simple. For me is you say the truth, you say your life. But you've been talking too much about kindness and looking into it, like Miss Molly said, you're young, and it's like you've not met a kind man. It's like men you've met were not kind. Yeah, it's we have to talk. Life means you say the truth, and I'm so happy you said the truth about that. And you just brought in your life, and so many viewers are looking at you now, are like, how can I help this lady to get a kind man?
Okay,
But I
man.
tell you, like Miss Molly says, you're gonna have it. You're still young, and don't get worried if your heart is broken, girl. That's a learning process. You're gonna make it, mama. Yeah,
Thank
and I
you.
love that thing of season that Miss Molly and Miss Olivia are talking. When you were talking of seasons, I swear I was talking of winter, fall, spring.
Oh Lord. Oh, Sherry.
So I was like, okay, hold on. What is going to happen in winter? Okay, what's going to happen in spring? But you guys brought it in a nice way. That seasons simply mean the relationship things change. So we have to balance it, and it's true. We also talked about, Miss Olivia mentioned a lot about you copying from your friends. What you should copy from people is good stuff. I know you'll be like, okay, my husband brings me flowers. They got a friend will be like, oh, he doesn't bring me flowers. It's still a good thing to copy good things, but do you think that's what your man is always going to be doing?
No.
If you like it, like Miss Olivia said, and Miss Molly, communicate. Tell him.
Mhm.
That's a good aspect. Let me tell you, I would love to copy good things from my friend. I swear to God. If I need a bra and my friend tells me, my husband went to Victoria's Secret and got a bra, I'll be like,
Mhm.
fine, ma. Now, bra I need, oh, I'll be 38 GG. Go get it. But I know he's not been doing the thing, but
I'm
it's
very
a good
small.
thing. Yes. It's a, I think 38 GG is big now. It's big boobs, isn't it? Miss Olivia, you know better.
We are in the 40s. We are in the 40s.
But I know just 2 digit. It doesn't
No,
exist.
two digits.
Oh Lord. I'm not the
So,
powerful now, yeah.
so Miss Molly, you're okay. You got something. You got something. The good friends. I think that's what I was coming to say. That if you copy good things from your friends, I tell you it's good. And but the thing is, don't go rush your husband. Don't go push him because you're gonna have trouble. Because you're copying. It's a good thing, but in a way of communicating to him, it's gonna balance it. You're gonna have it. And I think that's and men don't wire the same. I heard that thing what Miss my sister here said they don't wire the same. They don't, mama. They have a wire in their head. They said everybody has a mental thing. We should know that. In a relationship, no. In life, no, everybody's mental. They have their own mental aspect. Means your brain is wired differently. So communication, understanding their brain, and talking to them all the time. But ladies, why do we have to tell the man all the time to do something one at the same time? We talked about accountability last week.
Mhm.
It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make sense for me to keep telling you this is what you have to do, and every time I keep saying it. I don't know. I know you guys said it's good to keep telling because that's how they're wired, but keep saying it. Oh, I will lash out sometimes. I think I'm
Of
sorry,
course.
but I'll be like,
Yeah.
I'll look the eye. I'll be like, it's
Really,
time.
like really.
Boo. Uh huh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh-uh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
you're fine. All of us, I
No,
think
no, you
everybody
have to
does
take it
that.
from me. Yeah. Yeah.
No, so thank you all so much. That's what I had to bring with everything you guys got it. Thank you.
Okay, okay, okay.
We're almost
So
time.
we have, yeah, we have
Yeah.
two minutes to the end of our show. If you have anything that we want to add, this is the time. We're trying to keep it, our conversation can keep going, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to keep it for an hour so
Mm-hmm.
that we don't overwork our viewers, like to keep, to be stuck on their phone or on their screen, wherever you're watching us from. That's why we're trying to keep it within the hour. Miss Molly,
Mm-hmm.
you have any other words, Miss Oni? No?
I don't have anything to say. We could just conclude for the day. If you're going to
Okay.
conclude, or Henrietta, I think you're going to conclude because Henrietta introduced the show.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we are trying to, like I said, we were saying this on TikTok yesterday. We will not, we cannot change the world, but we're using our platform to make our voices being heard with the topics that we talk up, that we bring up. And the best part of our show is that most of our topics they are from our viewers. Like, I want us to talk about this and I want us to talk about that. Anything that you want us to talk about. The last episode we had before we stomped out, we had a viewer saying, oh, we're doing marriage counseling on this show. I don't think our show is only about marriage counseling. If you have been watching us, we have celebrated from Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, self-love, accountability. We have talked about everything. If you think there's this thing, this topic that has been bugging you, this thing that you want to listen, that you want to get somebody's opinion on, and you want us to talk about it, please let us know. We're not perfect. All of us are in various relationships in our own homes. Well, all of us are battling with life. All of us have our own problems. All of us have our own, shortcomings. Nobody is perfect, but we are trying to make our voices heard in the special these topics that you all bring up. So do not hesitate to ask questions and always try to be kind. We'll talk about kind. Let's remember Miss Oni today. Miss Oni said, kind. That must again for kind. You also have to be kind, right? So when you're commenting or you are trying to give us your own opinion, please remember that there are others on the platform. Everybody is going through their own things that you will never know. Again, we have other platforms that we are on. We are on TikTok, we are on Instagram, and on YouTube. We have really, really abandoned our Instagram, our
I know.
Instagram page for a while. So we are still trying. It takes a lot to try to connect all the dots to be live on one platform like this. But trust me, we are working on it behind the scenes, working on it so that we'll be live on all our platforms at the same time. We cannot ask for more from you guys, much from you guys. We only ask you to share, and continue to like our pages so that we can get more viewers and to touch many more people. Which that is our intention. So it has been an amazing day. Thank you to everyone who stopped by. We are so grateful, and we hope to see you in the next episode. From all of us
Thank
at Mollie
you.
Show, yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.